I'm a little far behind on the reading just because we're doing this so early. Well, not far behind, just a little bit. And then
Did we invite our professor?
Oh,
Yeah, we always forget that.
I just don't want to like get docked because we skipped a step or something, you know?
well, and I think it just makes it to where she could see it. But it can stay private or something.
Yeah, maybe that was our problem the first time or something.
Yeah, I was thinking that when I invited her last time. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Look at that. Wait, okay. Yeah, she took a nap too, Sarah. So I fell asleep with her as well. I got this. But, all right. We start up questions. You look so scared of it. Okay. Oh, page 2.
Okay.
All right. Are we good to start?
Yeah, so right now, it sounds like the first thing we need to do is review the story of Jenny.
Right. So Jenny's the girl that ran away.
And she had bleeding feet, and they took off their shoes, and that was out shoes as well.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
So we review the story. I don't know what exactly about it. I guess what I found interesting was that her parents were super quiet people,
Uh-huh.
but she was still struggling with them. And then that they used youth. I mean, Anastasia, I think, uses youth counselors as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or I've heard of, there's like ones that use like Native American walking people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it was
Yeah.
interesting to use youth, so that way it was a fellow peer that kind of understood her perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think if I were in that situation and like 2 adults were chasing me down and besides like 2 people a couple years older than me, I'd probably be a little more receptive to the
Yeah, a little.
20-year-olds.
Yeah, it's a little more like, okay, these kids aren't gonna.
Mm-hmm. And especially when like those kids had even been through the program before, they weren't just like better than you, or better than you boxes and just here because it's a job, but like they had been through it and they had investment in it. They knew the difference it could make.
Yeah, that definitely helps. Sorry. Okay, let's see the next part. So the next part is, what are the steps of getting out of the box?
So this was like the 4 different steps, right?
Yeah. And then they had like Lou talking about people that he knew that he found peace with and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 1, 2, 3.
Yes, the first step is look for signs of the box. So
It's on page
in the box.
201.
Yeah, 201.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And then find an out of the box place. Find the situation anew. And then act upon what I have discovered. Do what I am feeling I should do.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought the cool part when he was explaining, at least step 2, that there has to be a vantage point. You have to look at their perspective and other perspectives. Which is interesting. That like you can't really solve your own problem sometimes. If you want to find like where you're looking that's wrong, you use other people. I thought that was interesting. Remembering.
Yeah. Remember what it was like to be out of the box and go back to it. I think it like one of the later questions. Where is it? Yeah, I mean this kind of goes along with like the steps, but it's like what is the final action to stay out of the box, and that's like to actually act upon it and do it. And I thought it was interesting as we were reading, like you have like a desire or a feeling to do something, and then you have to like follow up and act with it. And I feel like a lot of times, like that feeling or that desire is like the Holy Ghost or promptings of what you need to do in the situation. So you have to actually follow those.
Yeah.
Jen, so you did it?
I'm in a meeting. I'm in a meeting.
Okay. What are
Um,
things that you can use to help one find a way out of the box?
okay,
What's below?
I've been quiet. So I can go over that if you want to. I've been really. Whew. Okay, so those are on page 190, I think. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Because it's like if they've been able to find their way out to an out-of-the-box place, they could have asked themselves these questions, which would be, what are this person's or people's challenges, trials, burdens, and pains? How am I or some group of which I am a part adding to these challenges, etc.? In what other ways have I or my group neglected or mistreated this person or group? And in what ways are my better than, I deserve, worse than, or need to be seen as boxes obscuring the truth about others and myself and interfering with potential solutions? And what am I feeling I should do for this person or group, and what can I do to help? I feel like that kind of goes through those steps in a way.
And I think like a lot of these questions are like focused towards like yourself in a box. So like
Yeah.
the question, what does it say? Like how can you, like what questions can you ask to help them? I think just kind of like by rewording them. So like what feelings should you have towards this person that you're in the box because of, or what are your challenges and your trials, trying to get them to realize the same things that the questions get us to realize.
Yeah.
Right.
I like how they're reflection questions too.
Mm-hmm.
You have to think
Yeah,
about
they're not.
this. Yes, I'm doing that. No, I'm not doing that. You have to actually go, okay, how?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to dig a little deep.
Yeah. What is the final action to stay out of the box?
To act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not being stagnant.
Mm-hmm. To actually make a change and stick with it.
I don't know. I think about conversion for me, but I know that's like a little different. But the idea of like saying, okay, this is what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Have a change of heart, not just a change of mind or opinions and all that. It's
Yeah.
like they want to be someone different, and they're going towards that.
Yeah.
Just regressing all the time. Or trying not to. Ugh.
Yep, you need to have some internal motivation that's going to keep you going.
Yeah.
Right. I think having that conscious decision of saying, I'm going to do this from now on, or I'm not going to do this from now on, helps us to actually focus on that and follow through with it. So, and
It's like a commitment.
yeah, making that commitment for yourself. Yeah.
Okay, identify an experience from your past when this knowledge would have been useful.
Mm. Mm.
At the time. I mean, if you really think about it.
Trying to think of one that doesn't get like way too personal or something.
I think like a lot of times with me, it's okay, I need to make a change. Our relationship isn't great or whatever. And so I start doing things. But then if within like a week or two, they're not making any changes and there's no progress, it's just kind of that, okay, well, I give up. It's, not working. Instead of like actually sticking to that action, sticking to what I feel like I should be doing. I just throw the towel in, whatever, I tried. And
Yeah.
so probably times if I would have actually kept acting, things would have changed.
Yeah. I think for me, I never realized that when you're kind of fighting with someone, you do think of them as an object.
Uh-huh.
That's probably something that this has really hit for me is, oh yeah, I guess you have to. It's almost a way to turn off your emotions towards it all is, okay, if I want to have one response to this situation or this or disagreement or argument, I have to see this person not as a person.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to care again. And so it's kind of terrible, but we totally do dehumanize people, so that way we can be angry at them. It's easier.
Yeah.
Like I struggle with my brother-in-law, and I feel like sometimes I do make him out in my head as a monster, but really he's just a person. When
Yeah.
he's thinking about all his struggles in life, you kind of, oh, that could be why he's doing this, or that could be why he's acting that way.
Uh-huh.
You gotta step into their shoes.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of times that, like, I want to hold on to grudges just because, like, I want to be right and you did me wrong. And to, like, be able to hold on to a grudge, you have to keep seeing them as an object, keep bringing up the reasons why you're holding on to this and not, like, letting it go and seeing them as a person.
Like Avi or whatever, how he was saying that he had to sit there and literally think of the reasons why he hated Hamish and all those people.
Mm-hmm.
And the Arabic people. So, it's interesting.
Yeah. All right. So then move on to the Emily part.
I didn't read that. I should probably read that real quick.
So it's just like above the questions, there's a little link.
Yeah.
It says read the case study. Have you read this, Sarah?
Yeah, and I have it up too.
Okay.
Do you want me to read it out loud or? I don't know.
I think it'll be okay. I can go real fast through it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's short.
You guys can discuss it a little bit while I'm reading if you want. Sorry, I'm hurrying.
Okay.
So I guess the first question, what action should Emily take? Do you think this is like referring to like right at the end, it kind of leaves it as like what Tom was saying about her, or like what action should she have taken through the whole process? I don't quite.
Now I'm at that part, and it says about a week ago, Emily had a talk with Tom about his performance.
Uh-huh.
She told him she understood the resentment towards her, but that he should try and improve the working relationship and his performance, especially since his performance appraisal was due in a month. He agreed with her, but his performance remained poor until 2 weeks before the appraisal. Then he began to work very hard, and as a result, made a startling improvement. Mention this change.
I mean, I think, like, pulling him aside and talking with him about his performance and reminding him, hey, like, you have your performance appraisal thing, you know, in a couple weeks. You got to step it up. Like, I think that was a good thing that she didn't just,
Yeah.
I don't know, throw it at the boss and not even, like, blindsiding him, even though he should know his performance is crap and he should be doing better. But, like, hey, like, I'm warning you. This is coming up.
Well, and the thing is it's not her doing that he got refused the salary increase. You know,
He was just
maybe
giving a complete
let
report.
her know, like, hey, you know, I have to be honest in my appraisals.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like you're obviously experienced man in this. You should know. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You can't lie or act like your misconduct is okay. Type thing, like being lazy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, after it all happens and, like, the way that, like, Tom is talking about her, the rumors that he's starting, I don't know what she should take. I mean, she probably shouldn't let it just keep going and building, and other people in the
Yeah.
office starting to get that mindset too.
Well, sometimes what's best is actually to go to your supervisor and just say, hey, with the policies for human resources, I think it's called, or HR, what do I do? How do I address this? Because you can't keep spreading rumors about her. It's probably not going to help the work environment.
Right.
But there might be actual policies of how to address it. Like they may want to meet with him and someone higher up than her. So that way, I mean, it's not just her taking action on him, but more like it's a very contained situation. I don't know. I would probably just ask the supervisor, hey, what's the policies towards addressing something like this? Like, should I be with him privately? Should we be with someone else higher up? What's best? Because right now it sounds like he doesn't respect her decisions. So maybe if it's someone higher up who he does respect, it may settle things down.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Especially if he feels like intimidated by her or inferior to her because she got the position or something, there may be less resentment if it's someone else's choice for his consequences type thing.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. That would be me, maybe. Okay. What else? So how can Emily build the confidence of the group in her ability to manage? I think she's got to not lose nerve. You know?
Yeah.
Got to stay on top of things and not let it really get to her.
Yeah.
And keep improving systems. Like it said that she did the swimming one, the registration online. That helped a lot.
Yeah.
Taking advantages towards the program succeeding, and I think people will respect you.
Yeah. If she's doing her job and proving her work, her work, her right to be there, this is why I got the position, because, you know, it wasn't because of whatever reason, like, and just trying to keep a good relationship with the other workers. I mean, Tom's a little bit of a struggle, but if she's keeping a good relationship with the rest of them, then, you know, hopefully.
Like, if it gets too bad with other people, you can address it with them as well and see if maybe the discussion alone could help. But I don't know. I would more just try to do it on your own merit. Keep going. You know.
Mhm.
Example. Professional example.
Yep.
Are you shaking the blinds?
Mhm.
Sorry. It's too funny. Dada. as a team.
So the next one, what can Emily do to establish a relationship with her management? So would those be like her supervisors?
I think just being as honest as you can really helps management. Because they don't want to hear the gossip or the anger or the emotions flying everywhere. For the most part, they respect when you're honest about a situation and you're very professional. You know, you want to do what's best for the business. Like, how do I address this in the best way possible that won't reflect on the business?
Mhm.
You know, management.
Yeah, I think sticking to facts and not like pulling your opinion too much into it shows that you're being professional. And it also, I don't know, kind of keeps your bias out of it, so that way it's more of like a honest feeling instead of, you know, slightly exaggerated or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, and even honestly, just trying not to be emotionally affected by the situation in your work. You know, just kind of letting it go, let it roll off, and continue forward to have good success. And then, I mean, genuinely care for the people, you know, and try to help them. But if they won't take your help, don't make it consume your work day, you know? Yeah. That would be my guess. What? Anything?
All right. So the last question on this part says, what will you do to ensure Emily is developing the skills necessary to be an effective manager? And I'm not quite sure what that's asking.
Wait,
I'm
what?
not sure. Because I don't know what position we're supposed to be in relation
Yeah,
to
like, are
Emily.
we a supervisor? Are we underneath her?
Okay, hold on. I'll read what you said.
Are we supposed to take the place of Emily? I don't know.
I have no idea. We could take it from a couple sides. Say if we were underneath her, we could say go up to her and just express how we're like, hey, you're doing great, keep up good work, whatever. Do the same as her supervisor. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe like,
It's just,
I don't know, just be supportive. But I think there's like ways to see if she's still being an effective manager, just like in what she's doing, like in work wise and relationships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, if you're someone over Emily, giving her opportunities to develop the skills, you know, instead of maybe once you're hearing the other rumors happening or things going on, instead of like doubting her ability, just keep giving her the opportunities to prove her worthiness to the people under her.
Yeah. That makes sense.
yeah.
Okay, so now it says we have to work together to complete sections 1 and 2 of our written plan of operation.
Yeah.
Okay. Which
I really just have no idea what to do on this.
Yeah, that's what I'm a little worried about.
And she like kind of gave a template for us to follow, but not for sections 1 and 2, and it's not even like an example.
Uh-huh.
And so
yeah, it says to not follow the template.
yeah, and all it is like almost like a header page type thing. Like this is the title of this section and the summary and the. But yeah, so section 1 is the vision, mission statement, philosophies, and then goals and objectives. And section 2 is the governing body, board of directors, and management structure. So I think section 1's kind of the stuff we did last week.
Yeah.
With a little bit more, but then I have no idea on section 2.
Yeah, I don't really have much of an idea on section 2 either. In our readings, I mean, Steamboat and Peterson has some like template type things with things like that, right? Orange one.
Potentially. I mean, I know in the like the standards of practice it like talked about WPOs, but
It doesn't really say what's supposed to go in them.
yeah.
I have it right here, and it's like just kind of like, hey, this is what it is, but
Yeah, let me check in some of these textbooks right next to me. This one. No.
So in our content for the class,
Uh-huh.
you can scroll down to the bottom and it says resources, and then one of them says WPO tips, and it goes through like each section.
Okay.
So like advice from former students, then section 1, section 2. I haven't clicked on them yet, but maybe that's where we need to start.
Yeah, if you want to share your screen, we could just look at it.
Yeah.
Or just open it up separate or whatever works.
No, I've got it open, so let me just figure out screen.
it's there though.
So it's
Okay.
off to the left. The screen share is the little arrow on a green screen.
Is it working?
Not yet. I think you have to select what you want to share.
Okay, so entire screen. There. How about now?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay. So
Do something.
let's. So these are tips from previous students that have done it.
So if you want to read them off, then we can see your screen longer.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to copy
Seeing
and
on it.
though it may be difficult to find a company that will allow you to use their WPO, take the time to find one. Partner with individuals who will work hard. Well, we already have our groups. Have weekly scheduled group meetings. Don't be afraid to revise as you go. Stay organized. Complete the sections as they're assigned. Work on your assignments 1 hour each day. Use Google Docs to collaborate and share documents. Have a clear general picture of the type of facility or agency from the beginning. Keep your end goal in mind and call as many programs as possible. And then section 1. So for the vision statement is all about the big picture, make it memorable and direct. And then there's a link there. Mission statement. The mission statement is how you reach your vision statement. This can be a little longer, but be sure to not make it so long-winded it can't be remembered.
Okay.
The philosophy. What do you believe? What are the core principles that found your organization? And what is the driving force behind your organization? And then goals and objectives. This should be very broad and organization oriented. They should be centered on your expected clientele. And then goals are broad and objectives make goals measurable. Think again about the organization as a whole. We are not making an IPP or an SPD. Our goals and objectives are oriented around the success of the organization.
So we really like the mental health one that we did last time. Do you want to do that as our main focus again?
Sure.
More like a mental health or hospital psychiatric unit type thing? Like, what do we want to go for?
Right. Well, if we just use what we started with last week, we could have.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I think a lot of the, like the comments from other people were saying to shorten our vision.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll make it to where you can remember it.
Uh-huh. And I don't know if I like imagined this or if I actually read it somewhere. Are we only supposed to have like one vision statement for the WPO? Are we supposed to use all three?
I'm pretty sure.
It is one. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking I'd read, but I don't remember where, and so.
Well, the
I think there's a
vision-
message from Sister Sargis, maybe? I don't know.
But if you guys heard it too or read it, then it's probably right.
Okay.
So. Let's see.
I would almost do the mission statement and then the vision statement would be like the most from that, and just kind of build off of that.
Mm-hmm. So our mission statement is our facility will offer a variety of programs that will help our clientele or our clients integrate into the community, which will help raise awareness of mental health. It will also promote independence with the clients by improving self-efficacy. That might almost be a little bit long, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I would almost take off the self-efficacy part because that can go more into the objectives and goals,
Yeah, I could see that.
I would say.
All right, so our vision statements that we had, our facility focuses on helping mental health to be understood and embraced by those participating in our program and the community. Program empowers our clients to achieve and obtain their highest quality of life as well as quality of leisure lifestyle. And our program enables our clients to become independent by creating confidence in their abilities.
I would almost do just the first one because the other ones we can make like sub goals. Because we're trying to get them to accept themselves and then the community. So usually we could take self-efficacy and make that goal, and we can make different stuff like that. You know,
Yeah, I agree with that.
We want to get a Google Doc going,
yeah, that'd be a good idea.
kind of see what's happening.
I can start one of those.
Okay.
I'll see if I can open that up. Are you just going to invite us on Gmail or something?
Yeah.
Sorry, my husband's not home yet. He gets done at 3. Or no,
Fine.
he's kidding. He gets done at 5. So we should be good. But if she gets angry, I just got to get her happy again. So it might be a little loud.
Okay.
All right. So you should be getting an email.
Yeah, I just got it.
Gotcha.
Rice, beans, and corn, and fish and fish. Want to just this?
Oh, that's our vision.
So does your vision statement go first and then your mission statement? Yeah. That's right.
I don't even know like what kind of format this is supposed to be in or anything.
Well, after we give it a go during this, we can also look up online, like examples, or try to find written. I have a couple friends who have taken this class already.
Uh-huh.
See if maybe they could show us theirs, and then see, you know, their resources. Even we could just look at their references.
Yeah.
So I think that's allowed because we wouldn't be copying them. We'd be.
No, because we have like our own clientele and our own stuff.
Well, and if anything, it's just getting your idea of format, so that way it looks.
So values, philosophy, belief statements. You know how many those we're supposed to have? Just kind of one or one of each, or?
That one, I feel like we have that in our reading somewhere. It talks about. I think they're all one statement. Like the values and beliefs of your organization.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure it's all it's your philosophy statement. Is the idea.
Right, it's like the one that covers all of them.
Yeah, but it's
So,
like it's a philosophy statement, but it includes your beliefs and values for the organization.
So the that it says for this one, what do you believe? What are the core principles that found your organization, and what is the driving force behind your organization?
What is the four principles?
What do you believe? What are the core principles that found your organization, and what is the driving force behind your organization?
Sorry. You want to paste that onto the Google Docs just so we can all look at it and kind of think on it? I feel like it's better when I could see it in text than if I just hear it. Sorry. Well, the driving force could be like quality service. Like,
And I think that, like, I don't know, with like our mission and our vision statements, it's talking about like raising awareness of mental health, and so like the driving force behind it would be, I don't know, I feel like something to do with helping people realize, understand more about mental health.
right.
Or like cohesion between mental health people and the world. I don't know how to say that. Maybe mental health awareness and integration. Mental health understanding. Would that work? Awareness and understanding within the community.
What is it? Mental health awareness and
Understanding within the community. Does that sound right? Because you're trying community integration, which will lead to understanding, awareness.
Yeah. So what? I don't know. Are they supposed to be like a statement as well? So what do we believe? We believe
Yeah, or
that mental health is, I don't know.
maybe our overall goal is, or our drive. I don't know. Yeah, we believe.
Well, we don't really get into our goals until later.
That's
So
true.
that's when they, there's our belief as this facility that we, I don't know, that mental health is blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
No, that makes sense.
Will improve the lives of, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, where are you going with that?
I don't know where I'm going with that.
Oh, it looks really good. Improve.
The lives of those affected by it and their loved ones, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think that's good.
Yeah.
I just this is always the hardest part, is just getting started on one of these assignments, because you're like trying to figure out what you're doing and where you're going. And
Yeah, I think it's okay to be pretty general and semi-vague in these statements because we're going to refine it later.
One of the tips for it. If you get too specific at first, you can't really go anywhere.
by the end of the week, so see what other people say and think about it.
Mm-hmm. I can also get that, talk to the person who's taken the class before and see her idea as to what went really well in her class with people.
Uh-huh.
What format was really helpful. If there's a different wording. Because professionally, I'm sure there's a type of wording you're supposed to use, like, I don't know. Like at one point, it was to identify and demonstrate in treatment outlines and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Is that all we put for the? Yeah, it's just one philosophy statement, I think. I just don't get the core principles part. Is it just awareness and understanding would be the core principles, probably?
What part? What don't you get?
Where it says, what are the core principles that are found in your organization? Would it just be awareness and understanding, probably, of the community?
Probably.
All right. Now we're at goals and objectives.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to copy and paste these tips. So there's the tip for this one. So I don't know, how many goals and objectives do you think we need?
I'm not sure. It's just plural, I don't know.
Yeah. So the objectives are the ones that are like like more specific, because you have to like have it be measurable and achievable, and then the goals happen because like the objectives are almost under the goals, right?
Yeah.
Completing the objectives, the goals get completed, so you need a couple more objectives.
Right, so goals are going to be like, you're going to improve in this way, and then outline that, and then objectives would be to each session, you're going to reach this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really know for it to be, because this isn't a program design, this is the facilities.
Yeah.
I don't know how to make.
Or written plan of operations.
Yeah, so it has to be oriented around the success of the organization, not just on like one client. This client will do this time. See how it changes things a little.
Exactly.
So one of our goals that could help with the program is maybe striving to have community involvement or like clients involvement within the community, since that's what we're kind of going with.
Yeah.
Make that a goal, because that's a goal that we can like take them out into the community. We can have events with the community. We can find leisure resources and have them see their opportunities of where to go and what events are already happening.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So how do we want to word that? Maybe, I don't know, you're right there, right? Do you want to type? Or I guess that's Sarah's cursor, but
Oh, I.
Well, how do you start that? We intend, or we?
Our goal is to. Oh, let me check on something.
Is it our goal as an organization? Because that sounds overreaching. For you want goals, right?
yeah.
Instead of just one goal.
Okay.
Huh.
Is it okay?
I mean, at this point, I guess if we word it a little bit wrong, we'll get feedback and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So just get something, get our general ideas down and. Sure. You can look outside. Sure.
You can say that. The program is to increase community integration. Well, that sounds very similar to our last one.
yeah.
Just look at this thing.
That doesn't look right, but I don't know how to fix it.
Yes.
You get this?
That's on it? Sorry, these are wrong.
I think that's a good goal. And
Is there leisure
Our key-
education or leisure opportunities? But education covers like informing them and participate. How else? Is there anything else you would want to put in? Sorry.
I have no idea. I don't know, maybe like, just because another thing we talked about having another goal that's talking about like increasing just the overall self-efficacy of all of the people involved with the organization.
Mm-hmm. We did talk about that. You're right. Their confidence and independence, I think. Self-efficacy is just having more confidence in your actions and abilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So maybe just say to increase self-efficacy within our clients through activities or through something like that.
Garbage.
Um, let's see. So it has to be over the whole organization.
Mhm. Sorry, I was looking at the therapeutic rec thing to see if there was any templates or any ideas, but there isn't. There's just treatment plans.
Goodness.
Okay.
So with yeah, you sell. Okay. No. You want daddy's spider? I'm just gonna grab it for you real quick.
Sure. I think you're probably good leaving it at mental health.
Yeah.
If you want. Raising awareness of mental health. Because that's kind of,
You know, awareness of mental health
and its effects. I don't know.
and its effects, or like, I don't want to say like treatment for it, but like things you can do despite of it still, or I don't quite know where I was going. We could just leave it at that for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Want to just start with 2 goals and go more? We can add more.
Well, I feel like what would increase their self-efficacy. Yeah, I guess that's. I don't know. When raising awareness help with their self-efficacy, right? Or like objectives, or knows how to branch out. You know what I mean? Because if people are more understanding of what they're going through, then they're gonna feel more equipped to do things.
Maybe not raising awareness of mental health, but like raising awareness of opportunities available or experience.
Awareness of when you want to increase self-efficacy, the way that you can do it is through giving them opportunities to do Does that make sense? The self-efficacy, I did that for one of my projects, and it was for spinal cord injury.
Mm-hmm.
And it talked about weightlifting because it's so that they still have problems and stuff. You almost need to like somehow connect it to leading them to confidence. So maybe, I don't know, I guess awareness in the community would lead you to a confidence of people are understanding of this. You know what I mean? So like forward. Because mental's not physical, so you don't necessarily need a physical thing to do. Does that make sense? Actually, I think you're good with that because we can make objectives when they're more specific. Make them about doing like classes for the community or something.
Okay.
Like, maybe like classes taught by clients, if that makes sense, or like activities taught by clients to lead to self-efficacy, but it also
Clients.
Huh?
Client facilitation. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
should we split up like, so we'll have our clients hold awareness classes for their families and communities. Should we just make that like 2 objectives? Holds classes for their families and then also holds ones for the community, or just classes for people in general?
I think if you want to build your client self-efficacy, then you want them to almost teach the classes on mental health. If we're trying to connect community awareness and self-efficacy for the clients, that would be the main thing I can think of. Where you can do that, because then they're telling their story, which gives them confidence in their abilities. You know what I mean? by giving awareness to the community. I don't know if we should necessarily put those together though, because it makes it to where our objectives are going to have to be like super specific. And I don't know if we would want clients eventually teaching community, because that may be like a HIPAA thing. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like, I wouldn't want to put clients in a situation where we're asking them to almost break HIPAA on themselves. I don't know if you could do that in a program. Maybe in a counseling center you could, because it's to get it out there. But in a recreational program, I would think that they want just activities with the community to gain awareness.
Or I don't know how this works with like HIPAA, but what about having them teach like awareness classes within the facility to other clients about like what they have? Because in a facility you're gonna have some people with schizophrenia and some people with bipolar and some people, so maybe teach classes about their own illness to people with other illnesses in the facility.
Okay. Other clientele.
Go against HIPAA, because then it's still like, this is what I have.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just trying to, because I don't know if that's necessarily a recreational activity though. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
A counseling, setting up counseling, which, I mean, maybe you could do like storytelling type situation. You could do counseling almost. Therapeutic.
If we have each client teach their favorite leisure activity.
Yeah, I would do something like that,
Helps
and
them
then understanding as they experience time with the client. I mean, the awareness isn't necessarily awareness as much as it's experience with them, so they are aware. I don't know how. Does that make sense? In my head, I'm hitting this wall with community awareness, how to do that without others. I don't know. We could see about maybe doing like a mentor activity type thing with the community. Like a big brothers, big sisters type activities.
Yeah.
Could lead to something like that, because they'll have to understand their, I don't know, their person. Or like age groups, using age groups, because then they'll understand the kid who, I don't know.
All right, so maybe we need to figure out a different way to increase self-efficacy.
Maybe, yeah, I think teaching their favorite recreational activity could definitely do that.
But then tie it into how it helps them with their mental illness. I don't know.
Yeah, it could still help with community awareness, because they're meeting the kid, you know what I mean, or the person or the client. Like they're watching them facilitate, which brings awareness as to their abilities and whatever mental illness they have if they share it.
Mommy. Mommy.
The objectives, I like the 1.1, 1.2. I've seen that a lot in things. It's a really good idea. Yeah, that sounds good. So something that may do self-efficacy, and we're working with mental health, so maybe like a maybe for Cancer Relay for Life type thing. So like community involvement in activities.
Yeah.
Or like
Mama.
raise awareness of mental health. So, like, it could be any activity, like a triathlon or, you know, something that's for the community. It could be like a barbecue, but maybe to raise, like, awareness through raising funds type thing. Because that's a little more recreationally fit, but it'll raise awareness as well. Does that make sense?
Mama.
Because the hard part is right now with the raising awareness in the community, we've got to be careful not to make that our number one priority necessarily in the program, but our clients.
Mm-hmm.
So them teaching classes is great, but how much will it help them versus the community? You know what I mean? I don't know if that made sense at all.
Yeah.
I'm talking in circles and not making sense.
All right, so I put our clients will be involved in the community activities that raise awareness of mental illness. That kind of like the lines you were going on, what you were thinking.
Like we could even like, if they want something smaller, like have clients sign up for the different recreational classes in the community that they like, because that'll gain or raise awareness if we let them go out into the community. You know what I mean? Events. Not just our program. But I almost wonder if that's bad because we're a program and we want people to come to our program. But
That's true.
is the same thing. You take them out in the community and you stuff it around. So I don't think it's bad. Like YMCA classes and stuff, you want them to find those. So if they leave your program, they know leisure resources for themselves. Right? Leisure education, which we wanted as a goal. I think that's fine. I'm overthinking everything.
All right, so are we keeping this 1.3, or were you saying, no, just go with the other two we have?
I would go with the other two we have because we can explain them later if that's needed.
Okay.
Like if ever someone's like, hey, how are you going to do that? Then we bust out the idea.
Yeah. Okay, so then for our other objectives, an organizational goal within this program is to increase community integration of our clients through leisure education.
Yeah. So that one could actually turn into the giving them leisure resources within the community, like teaching them leisure resources. So transportation, opportunities within different programs or like marathons, YMCA, senior night, you know, senior clubs or high school clubs type thing. Using what's out there. Clients of different resources that make it possible.
Something like that, maybe?
I would put different leisure resources because there's like a whole thing behind leisure resources being transportation, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Did you fall again? No. Thank you for typing so much. It looks really good. Like, I think we're doing great for not having a template.
All right. So 2.2 then, come up with some other kind of goal or objective, I guess. So the tips say that the objectives are supposed to make the goal measurable. And so, like, are those objectives making them measure? I don't know. Just because it's not like they'll do this in a week and, you know, this many, then it's, I just, like, feel like they're still too broad.
Yeah, they may be. The hard thing is they want program objectives instead of client objectives. So you can't be like, and we'll take them out into the community 5 times and look for opportunities. Like, do they want it that specific? Or
I don't know. I mean, it makes
I would say it stayed general because once you make a treatment plan, you want to be able to say, okay, for this client and their situation, going out into the community 5 times, within the program is okay, or no, they won't like that,
Yeah. I think it can't be too specific because it's supposed to be for the entire
program, which is
facility. And so maybe some clients, 1 or 2 things is enough, while others want to be more involved and 4 and 5 are enough.
yeah. Well,
So-
and I know some people that they worked at places with children, and one of the simplest goals are we're going to hold hands across the street, because their client, that was a goal that they could successfully learn to socially integrate into the community. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily that we're going to take them to an event, but sometimes it's just bringing them around the community.
Yeah.
But you want it general enough that you can say that in a treatment plan and it still is covered by the program's goals, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for now we'll stay general, and then if they want more specific, it'll be a lot easier to go specific than to go general.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm hungry.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right. So do we want to do one more objective for that other goal then?
Sure. So what's the definition of leisure education? That'll help us. I'll look it up.
Let's look.
Tools to enable the individual to gain a broader understanding of where, why, and how, and with whom they can pursue leisure interests and experiences. 2, unlearn non-adaptive and learn more functional responses. An example, to develop different modes of leisure behavior, which will enable the individual to adapt to the environment to meet his or her free time needs. That's off of the recreationaltherapy.com or whatever.
Okay. I had that pulled up.
So maybe if they need adaptive services, that we can help them find them.
Yeah.
If that still works, that's pretty. That would go under point 1, huh?
So to increase the integration of our clients to leisure education.
So another thing that's in leisure education is teaching leisure skills. So if someone wants to learn how to swim, that's a leisure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's leisure education to teach someone to swim. Does that make sense? So maybe teaching leisure skills.
Yeah. I wonder. Yeah, if we have members of the community that they taught Zumba or they taught swim classes or yoga or whatever it is. If we could invite them to come teach classes at our facility and have them sign some kind of HIPAA release, whatever form.
Yeah. I think as long as you're not giving out information about an individual, you don't cross over HIPAA. Like someone coming in and teaching your client to swim or help them, the hard part is normally there's regulations on how to teach them to swim. Mental illness, though, isn't physical injury.
Right.
So I feel like they'd be more open to that in a program, yeah. Because you're not hurting them by exposing them to people.
Right.
The only one I could think of is if you had like a paraplegic, there should be a certain swim teacher, but mental illness, not necessarily. Yeah. Why?
So something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, that would work.
Okay.
Activities or leisure skills and activities, skills within activities. I just know that that's the words they use in leisure education. I don't know.
Well, then it's probably good enough for us, right?
Yeah. Go with the flow. I think that's good. Is there any part to this section 1?
I think that's all for section 1.
Okay.
Section 2. Okay, so this kind of looks like it's going to be a bugger.
Yeah.
The governing board or body in the board of directors, the tip says, if you are creating your written plan of operations for an organization that exists, be sure to include the existing organization structure to include CEO, president, and then make a linear connection all the way to the CTRS. If you're not doing your WPO based on an existing organization, be sure that your organizational chart is clear and carefully created. So we've got to come up with an organizational chart.
Okay.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah. Organizational chart. Okay. What? Maybe Google it. Or
Yeah, I've been Googling a little bit, but like,
art.
and like, I know we've had PowerPoints and stuff on this, or podcasts, but I don't know how to make my own.
Well, in Microsoft, we could pretty easily. They have like a little chart builder.
Uh-huh.
If you want, I could do that. You just go on Word. Here, I'll share the screen.
Okay.
Okay. So you go to charts, and you can kind of build one, I think. Hold on. I think that's working. Oh, because it's something else. New one. My bad. Go to charts. No, that's not what I want. So sometimes you can do something like this that's already pre-made. Can you see it? Sorry, I don't know. Okay.
Okay, no.
Or you can normally add a shape, but I don't know why it's not letting me do that. Wrong? No.
Like I keep seeing it for a second, but it's like a warped, I don't know, expand. I mean, it's blank now.
Let me see, sorry. I'll make this big. Is it on the right one? Oh, it's on the wrong. Okay. Sorry, hold on. Stop. Screen share. We want this blank one. Okay. There we go. So here's like lists, processes, cycles, hierarchy. So that's what we want, right? Something like this.
Yeah. Yeah, hierarchy type thing.
Well, one of the tips says you can use it, find it within Smart Art Graphics. Oh, you're already there. Way.
Good. And then take your paper and do your layout. Try to make it landscape. So just like a landscape. And then you can make this super big or whatever. And you just fill in little text things. So, oops, that didn't work. My bad. There we go. And then you can, I think you can even put this, I don't know if you can widen it. Really. Anyway, so just fill it with text like CEO.
Right.
So I don't know how we want to do that.
My goodness, I have so many pages open, I can't even like keep track of everything right now.
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm just like,
Yeah.
So, okay, does it want like CEO, supervisor, blah, blah, blah?
I think so. I don't really know.
So, I don't know. Let's see if I can find where the
Hold on, baby. Sorry.
I don't know what I did with the tips page.
It's okay. I think I can.
Yeah, so it says if you're doing it from an organizational structure, like someone that already exists, so like copying theirs, then include the CEO at the top. If you're not, it just says make it super clear, but it doesn't say like how far up to go, so I'd almost say we'd probably have to do CEO again.
Yeah. Okay, well, I put it on our Google Doc so we can all kind of mess with it.
Okay. I think I'm gonna have to go soon. I should have time, I think probably after 4:30 tomorrow if we want to meet up and just finish it, or
That should be okay for me, I think.
Yeah.
I just got a hold of Ashley and she said she can send us hers so we can just see like a format.
okay.
So I can just bring that up next time, or put it on the bottom of the.
I'll have time a little bit tomorrow morning, probably like 8 or 9 before I go do my hours to kind of look at the charts and see who we need to include. So I can look at that, then when we come together, we'll know how to do it.
Yeah, I think really we just need to see some examples of
Yeah.
charts. So
Yep. Oh, cool.
well, at least if it helps, when I asked Ashley if I could see it, she said she'll send it to me when she gets home and asked if I'm doing my internship. And I said, "No, just a class." And so at least these will be in our internships, it sounds like. So we're getting the exposure now. That's
Yeah. That's good.
all right. Well, I'll end this and then we can get back to it later.